Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. It's chamber check-in time. And today I am so excited to share the CS Beef Packer story. And today I have Steve Cherry, plant manager out there at CS Beef. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, thanks for carving out a little time with me today. I know you're slammed out there. Um, these chamber check-ins, Steve, as you know, are ways to share our members' stories, their services, and most importantly, my favorite part is learning about the people. And so, um, but I get to thank our sponsor for these series before we get to your story, Steve. It's Delta Dental of Idaho. And Steve, you know Delta Dental. They've been providing best-in-class dental insurance benefits to Idahoans for over 50 years. Their benefits packages are backed and designed by the largest network of dentists in the country. And with that, I'm going to share a fun video from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Delta Dental first introduced the HOW program 3 years ago. HOW, or Health Through Oral Wellness, is a patient-centered program that adds additional preventive benefits to those at high risk for dental disease. HOW benefits include additional cleanings, sealants, fluoride, as well as medicated mouth rinses and toothpastes. It's a definite differentiator in the marketplace for your employees.
We all need great ways of retaining our employees. Thank you, Delta Dental. So Steve, Cherry, we've known each other for about the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm so excited that you joined the chamber about 3 years ago, and you're serving on our Food and Ag Industry Advisory Board. And I've been out to the plant a handful of times, and I'm so excited to share the story out there. So why don't we start off by, why don't you just get us up to speed on a little bit about you, your work history, and then we'll talk about CSB.
Outstanding. I appreciate the opportunity to connect again with you, Paul, and tell everybody our story. As you stated, I'm the plant manager here at CS Beef. Been in the industry, oh my gosh, 36 years.
Wow.
Spent 26 years in Pasco with IBP Tyson. Short hiatus down in Nashville. Transferred to one of their case-ready facilities down there for 4 years. Got the opportunity, heard about a new plant being built in Kuna with Simplot and Cavaness being a partnership on this new facility. Came out, checked it out. Was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to come out here for the startup. So after 30 years with IBP Tyson, came out here, and I think I kind of found my forever home here. I love to tell the CS Beef story because it allows us to tell a story that kind of goes back to an older time, an older way of doing business. So without getting too lengthy here, in 2006 or 7, about a quarter mile down the road from us, there was a IBP Tyson slaughter facility that slaughtered beef animals and trucked them over to the Pasco facility. They shut that down, and it left a huge hole in the whole beef industry up here. And about that, from that time until around 2014, the Simplot family was looking for a partner to do a joint venture with. The Simplot family, everybody in Idaho knows that story, and they're very much an agricultural business, very much into cattle. In fact, 45 minutes from us is their largest feed facility, with about capacity of about 130,000 animals. So it left a huge hole. On top of that was all the local dairy and beef cow-calf operators. They lost their local outlet to take animals to. So they were having to freight to different parts of the country. So there was definitely a need here. Simplot set out to try to find the right partner. It took a while. In 2014, a mutual acquaintance introduced the Simplot family to the Cavaness family. The Cavness family has a very similar story in that 2 generations ago, Grandpa Cavness started a slaughter facility down there, family owned, very similar set of values and a very similar growth structure and story on how they built their business. So both families came together, and in 2014, on a handshake, CS Beef was founded. And we started construction in 2015, still on a handshake. And 2017, we started operations, May of 2017. On the first day, we harvested 42 animals, I believe. We're currently between 1,750 and 1,800 head per day.
Wow.
So we take a lot of pride in how the company was founded. It's very much a part of our foundation. Both family-owned companies stand for the same things, do business the same way, very relationship bound in everything they do. To the extreme that they started this multi-million-dollar joint venture on a handshake.
Yeah, wow.
So that's kind of the backstory.
I love that you. I love that story, Steve, and the fact that I grew up in Sunnyside, Washington, and I had a dairy farm on one side of the street, and I had a meat rendering on the other side of the street, and that was home to me. And so when I come out and visit you at the plant, it's like going home. It's important. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this facility? Because in 2017, when I heard, between 15 and 17, when we heard the rumblings of the plant, coming to fruition, it was quite the build out, and it is a state-of-the-art facility. Why don't you share with the listeners a little bit about the technology that's involved, how to keep it clean, how to keep it safe, and how you guys take care of your animals?
Sure. You've obviously been a very good student on the tours you've done out here. You spoke to all of the key points. So yeah. I guess first of all, I'd mention that a new greenfield beef plant is very rare in the beef industry, and I'll start with what makes this unique is the fact that most beef facilities, a company goes and buys an industrial building and then fits their process into the building. This was very much a very thought out process, idea and design, perfected over the years of everything that the Cavness family had learned as they grew and built their facility and learned what was best and how to better improve that. So they gave us a building, the most state-of-the-art building, beef building in the country right now. Excuse me. So you touched on a couple things that were at the heart of the design. Number one is food safety. It was built. We don't have any special interventions or new bells and whistles that all other facilities don't have. But what they did give us was a design that allows us to better execute all of those, to better execute just our normal day-to-day animal-to-animal job functions with food safety in mind. Second to that was employee safety. We've got wider benches, more space, just a better design in all aspects to allow the workers better employee safety on their day-to-day work. Because as you've seen, the work these folks do out here is very physically demanding. There's not an easy job in this facility. So that was definitely, the second aspect. The third aspect was just the flow, the design flow, to allow us to operate the facility as efficiently as possible, much more efficient than some of the other cobbled together beef plants that exist out there that I've been in. In addition to that, the way this plant is designed, there's a hallway that is, thousand steps long. It's a long ways from one end to the other. And all the admin and welfare areas and break rooms are on one side. All the production areas are on the other side. And there's windows down the entire hallway. The reason that's important is it does allow us to really start to have an opportunity to educate folks on what we do. For years, there's been a terrible misconception on what happens inside one of these buildings.
Right.
And as you've seen, it is very clean. It is very well lit. And this allows us an opportunity to bring people in to see what this process looks like. And to date, I'm going to take a guess that we've probably toured 5,000 or so people up and down those hallways, educating folks. And I always start those visits with not telling them what to expect, but asking them to take a snapshot. Take a snapshot in your mind on what you think you're going to see. And I will guarantee you that it will be different. You'll have a different perception when we're done than what you have in your mind right now. So as far as state of the art, I mean, they've really blessed us with a building, and doing it right on that end has really helped us get this thing up off the ground and be successful very quick.
One of the things I learned today, Steve, by watching a couple of videos on your website, is the fact that you have some wastewater, but then that wastewater also helps generate energy to help run your plant. Tell me a little bit more about that sustainability piece.
Sustainability, as everybody knows, that's it's definitely more than a buzzword. The ag industry has lived sustainability. That's how ag survives. Well, we've got some really good sustainability stories here, and Paul, you touched on probably the biggest one. We use a lot of water in our process. We capture that water in an anaerobic lagoon. We've got little critters in there, little bugs that do their thing, and through that process, they create a methane biogas. We capture that, and that process generates enough biogas to run between 15 and 20% of our daily boiler capacity. Wow. So we're not having to, that's 20% that we're not having to use a natural gas, a new form of fuel. To continue on down that process, we go take the water out of that anaerobic lagoon, we aerate it, it flashes off some of the stuff that's in there, goes out to our storage lagoons, and then we've got probably 2,500 acres of farm ground around us. We grow corn, alfalfa, triticale. We, in partnership with DEQ and following all their guidelines, we've got a land application process where we're following their parameters and staying within their guidelines. We use that wastewater to grow crops. These crops then go to animal feed, raise animals that come to us. We use water, and you can see the whole sustainability loop there, where really nothing goes to waste. That's
a circle of life right there, baby.
100%.
Hey, tell us, you were talking about workforce a little bit, and I want you to help share the demographic of people, how many folks you have working, how many shifts are running at any given time, and how your team is able to get work done through people. Because why don't just tell us a little bit about how many folks you got working there, all the different languages spoken, and tell us some success on that.
Yeah, it is challenging when you start becoming extremely diverse. We've embraced that. We've really embraced the diversity. We are a melting pot. So we are currently we have about 675 to 700 folks. We're trying to get up to 725 to 750 to be fully staffed. Our production shifts, we're a single shift operation. We start the chains at 6:30 in the morning. We run till somewhere between 4:45 and 5:15 in the afternoon, 5 to 5.5 days. Our maintenance, our security, and our warehousing crew, they all have second shifts. And then as far as our diversity, here's a stat that just kind of I don't know. I don't think it's something a lot of people will expect, but we are 27% female. And that's in our hourly ranks, the folks down on the front lines. And that also translates into our leadership ranks. That number's pretty consistent through there as well. Oh, excuse me. Beyond the female demographic, we the last number, I believe we have 16 different cultures. We've got 16 different languages.
Wow.
We've been very fortunate in with our outreach to the refugee population and the organizations that support them. They've really helped us bring these folks into our workforce. But as that's happened, we've been very fortunate to have at least one person for all those languages that has the ability to translate and interpret and help us get everybody, through all the training and help them understand what it is that we're doing here. In fact, on our training room wall, one of our team members came up with this idea. We've got a world map, and we put a push pin everywhere that we've got somebody that is from. And other than Australia and Antarctica, we pretty well got the whole globe covered.
Wow. That's amazing. I can't even imagine the education struggles that go on with training and development and for your human resources team. And oh my gosh. Anyway, kudos to you. Hey, let's take a few more minutes and talk about your relationship standards with ranchers and the farmers and your beef customers. How is that important? And tell us about your guys' mission and vision to have strong relationships with your partners.
Love to talk about that because there really is nothing more important that we do. We have a very great example from both of our founding partners that started this company. Both of those families have been relationship driven in building their businesses. They support that. They're a great example. They expect it from us. Relationships are everything. It starts on the cattle procurement side, where we treat our producers right. They call into our procurement folks, and we are very upfront. We're very open with them. We have a cattle buyer that's been in the industry for coming up on 40 years. So he's very knowledgeable.
Wow.
And we're very honest with folks. And our prices are fair. We're not looking for a one-time transaction. We want to be the go-to outlet for all of these producers. So if it makes more sense, if we think the market's going to shift and waiting 2 weeks would be better for the producer, we're going to tell them that and then let them make the decision. But we're very open and upfront. That's where it starts. Relationships are all the way through with our vendors, with our team members, with our customers. Everything is relationship bound. We've taken a little different approach than a lot of us that have been around the beef industry for a long time, in that we truly are in the people business here. Beef just happens to be what we do. So once again, it's about relationships. It's about taking care of our people. If we do that well enough, the results will follow. And when you look at what we've done, from killing that 42 head on the first day to where we're at today, and the growth and success that we've had in that short time, it really comes back to that. And the way we've done it, we've set ourselves up to be sustainably successful as we move forward.
Well, this will segue to our adjournment in our conversation. I'm throwing your website on the ticker here that's scrolling along. If anybody's interested in learning more about CS Beef Packers, check out their website, check out some of their videos. I love the story. And then finally, as we conclude, Steve, I want you to tell us a little bit about the local production and then local product that people can find on the grocery shelves. Tell us who your local partners are and where customers can find CS Beef product.
Absolutely. And before I do that, I'll throw in that I've never been anywhere where local meant as much as it does here in Idaho.
Right.
And vertical integration is it's unheard of in the beef industry. That's another advantage that this company has on a lot of the product we produce. Simplot owns the cow herd. It goes to the feedlot. It comes to us. It's vertically integrated from conception to finished product. So that's a story that we have to tell that makes us different than some of the other folks. And as far as locally, all the Wincos in the Northwest has CS beef grinds, as well as a lot of the beef cuts that you're going to find in the Winco stores are coming straight from this plant. We've also got products in Albertsons. We are doing some with Kroger. We're really just trying to get get ourselves established in this local market and really provide local products for this area.
I love it. You know, when I came in last time with my kids and we did the tour of the quarter-mile tour, and we had bought some stuff from you. And when I brought the packaging home, you know, you usually go to the grocery store and you see the ribeye cut already and packaged from the butcher at the store. They do a beautiful job and trim it up. And I brought this bulk ribeye home, and I have my 9-year-old with a knife, and he's like, I'm like, this is how you do it. So I remember I sent you that picture.
Yep.
He'll always remember that, Steve. I just think it's special that we know where our food comes from. It comes from a local outfit ran by credible people. And thank you, Steve, for your investment in the community, for helping feed us, and for investing in the chamber.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for giving us a platform to tell our story.
Absolutely. Hey, you have a great weekend out there, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye, Steve.